I think design should be efficient. That's the essence of design for letterpress, is you really have to use what you have, what you've salvaged. A part of me is really attracted to the ecological aspect of it. It was made once and it's being reused over and over again. Building a type form and cutting all pieces of lead and paper, handset type, linotype, intertype, Ludlow. In the end, it's pretty straightforward. It's like the rink that you play on. It's a really fun challenge. Maybe we try the orange.
Yeah, it looks nice. The yellow, green thing.
Orange and the green. Green
And
and
then black
and then
headpaper.
black
headbands.
headband.
Yeah, it looks fine.
You know, I'm not really addicted to any one design style, but you just see it. A lot of things have been really figured out, and you know, in my opinion, a lot of stuff doesn't need changing. I'm absolutely not interested in reinventing the wheel. Really simple type, having it set and printed beautifully, is sometimes that's enough design for me. A part of getting into this was somewhat reactionary to the world of branding, where here it felt like, oh, I'm free from logos and swooshes of all kinds. It's just type and rules. Number of oil spots on this machine that should be hit often. They're color-coded for when and where, but sometimes you just forget. The Heidelberg windmill came up from Ohio. It was really underused. That was a real excellent find. That machine is in so many print shops because it just does the job more reliably than any other piece of equipment that exists. This technology of letterpress printing it did change the world. Letterpress was perfected early on. It's spent hundreds of years working the same way. It's my job to maybe just be one of the soldiers for that cause, in a sense, just a continuance of the work. I often work with a company called Dawn Black Line Casting, which has specialized in reselling and refurbishing letterpress and bindery equipment. Now when you're working in letterpress, if you want to do all metal or wood type designs, so much of it has to do with what you've salvaged. So for the waste goose piece, we need to get a 12-point regular italic. That's a lot of what I do, is find something and work with it. Doesn't do it all the time, just you work with what you have, what you can cut, what you can repurpose. Doing commercial work, like, you really have to push this equipment. You have to make it do the best work it can do, because really that's what's for sale, that's what people expect. Yeah, so I did reduce the tack a bit, and that's to kind of bring it to about this point. So let me shoot through with where I've got on this sheet here. I'm just gonna mark X so we know that one's there. For some people, different instruments, different tools click for them. I realized I had to learn about printing. My friends and I were doing a lot of street art and large poster productions. I'd spend a night in jail for getting arrested for doing graffiti, so I realized at that point I really had to choose this path, and it seemed wide open. After a few tours of big printing establishments, multi-million-dollar machines spit out pizza flyers for every pizza location across Canada. In a letterpress shop, you just get to be in this space and produce work that is of a different time.
Oh yeah,
The W.
What?
Christine came to me with the idea for the project. I had always wanted to be involved with the Waste Goose anthology. The anthology has been printed for 33 years. It was a collection of signatures printed by private press printers in Canada. It was originally developed to be a meeting of small press craftsmen to talk about skills and show each other's ability to print and talk about print and how to do certain things, you know, real kind of knowledge sharing.
No, these are pretty good. Like, look at this one. This one's really clean.
This one's really nice.
Yeah.
So is this second one in. Looks pretty nice.
That one's never, it doesn't even, well, it's been printed, you can see.
I would have really liked to be a tradesman in 1890 or something, but it's kind of nice to be a bit of a contrarian, kind of just stick it out in here and just kind of do what you can do with this process.
Okay.
A part of what I really like about it is the vocation that it was, the time when someone chose a trade and that's what they did. They just did their best to be immersed in a trade and follow that to wherever it takes you. We're printing a 4-page signature for the Waste Goose anthology. Christine had a book cover with a motif that we used to model the design after. We knew we wanted to combine contemporary and traditional letterpress printing.
We're going to want impression on is the ornament.
Yeah, the border will need it. One side of the signature is going to be completely set and output digitally.
It's going to look good. Should sit right inside.
And the other side, the inside 2 pages, will be hand set in the composing room from metal.
So that's it, we cast.
Okay.
So just to have 2 sides of what letterpress printing has become. This is typesetting. Typesetting using the Ludlow system. It's a proprietary system that uses handset molds of the type, or what we call matrix, that gets placed in this composing stick, set as you want it to appear on the page, spaced out, quadded, etc. And then it's cast into a single line of type. The Ludlow I have is a Ludlow Model M. That machine came from a bindery that used it to cast names to personalize binders. They are binder factory. And that slug line that's cast is used for printing. You have an unlimited supply of type. You never run out of characters because you're casting the lines you're printing from. There's a pleasant authenticity to work printed from type. It's this physical manifestation. Letterpress, you actually print from the surface of the type. So you're presented with that patina, with those inaccuracies. The G in Grimsby, I could see that piece of metal, when the type was being cast, shot up between the matrix and, in this case, the edge of the composing stick.
I could see that hairline here. I could take it down with my fingernail.
No, we wanted it thinner.
This is my press sheet, and it's ruled up with a razor blade exactly where this frame needs to print on the sheet. So these corners are cut out. So when I lay it down onto my form, on my chase, I know that my sheet is going to print exactly to some scored lines that are cut into the chase. Machines, they really have a personality. You come just to know what that thing is capable of. It's a newspaper proving press. The first piece of equipment I procured from Don Black. I got it originally because of the sheet size I could print on it. At that time, I was all about printing broadsides, large posters, wood type, etc.
I mean, it's a nice contrast, because if we go with the thicker rule...
The inking system on the 320G is really simple. The lever that you turn impression on and off with says trip and print. And that's where I get my press name from.
Hey, Christine, I'll pull a proof onto tissue paper.
We're going to be working with metal and plastic.
So I use our bottom
On the digital side, the plate making is outsourced to a firm that specializes in making plates and dies for the printing industry. Digital typesetting, metal typesetting, they're still essentially the same thing. Typesetting still works the same way. Still read type the same way. Type still has the same forms for the most part. Letterpress printing from photopolymer is really what's kept letterpress alive. You get a plastic die, which is a thin piece of plastic, mount it type high so it acts the same as type does in the press. Print that on the other side with the same color on the press. So we're trying to minimize how many times we have to wash down the press. So we get the one ink color on there and do all the printing in that ink color at that time. So this is the, what's kind of generically called in printing, make ready. And it's pretty much the reason why letterpress printing isn't the dominant printing process anymore. Because you're tearing tissues and trying to even out the impression, which you don't have to do on modern digital imaging equipment. And then you have to make sure it's printing straight on the sheet, so you can skew the guides so it prints straight.
I just want to set the ink knife here so it's distributing equally onto the fountain roller here. So I'm just listening for the sound of the ink. You can really tell the level of the ink by the sound of the tack. It kind of hisses. That sounds good.
This just seemed to have so much sense built into the process. Everything was a closed loop. The idea was that you'd have a letterpress shop and you could be a frontier newspaper, haul your press there and haul all your type. You really didn't need to rely on service bureaus or tech support. The idea of saving and reusing the material was still present. It feels good to work with all these ghosts and not have to consume so much material. Some of the, I brought up the rollers a bit here. Over here. This looks okay.
Look at this one. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Double head.
Gotta keep that for your record.
For the signature that we're producing for the Waze Goose, it gets scored down the middle, folded in half, and sewn into the anthology book. We're scoring the covers on a 1218 Kluge that came from a shop that was in a garage, mainly used for die cutting foam inserts to go into jewelry boxes. It was a real brute. And I just hope that the floor doesn't cave in, really. We want to do some really good typesetting, really good design with good colors and really good letterpress printing.
Okay, so it's not like you punch all of them.
They're hand sewn in an edition of 115.
You make it right where the fold is, but you make the holes always from the inside and not from the outside.
The anthology's been printed for 33 years. We really wanted to bring the spirit of the original book, bring that spirit back, and where it was these meeting of craftspeople and they were really getting together to show each other what they can do and learn from one another and just to show some really decent work.
This profession is a dying profession. Most people can't afford it or they don't think it's worth it. They're like, oh, I can get this made in China, cheaper. But there's still some people, like book lovers, collectors. They see the value of it. It's the right size. Yeah, when you're a bookbinder, you shouldn't be afraid of glue. I would do it fast, Nicholas.
For this impression, yeah.
Like this.
Submissions that people put in Wastegoose are different papers, different folds. Some printers are more professional than others who submit. It's pretty nice that there's a whole run of people who are willing to submit to the book. I think that's the essence of design for letterpress, is you really have to use the process to its advantage. For myself, the more simple and the more honest it is, it really works.